Hey, it's David, and welcome back to another episode of the Reddit Story podcast.
I was just hitting 18, buzzing with dreams of hitting up my dream uni. My grams on my mom's side had hooked me up big time, leaving me a stack to cover all the uni costs. I was over the moon, for real, because that cash meant I didn't have to stress about the dollars for school. Would have been tight otherwise, seeing as Pops isn't exactly rolling in it. We're pretty much living off whatever comes in, plus whatever's left on his plastic. Then, out of nowhere, Pops drops this bomb on me. He's like, "Yo, I need you to hit pause on your uni dreams for 5, so my stepkid can get his education on with the cash your Grams left." My jaw hit the floor. Like, how's he even thinking that's cool? Grams had me in mind when she left that cash, so I could chase down my dreams. And here's my own dad, trying to reroute my future. I felt mad isolated. My mom passed when I was born, and Grams was my link to her. She passed last year too, after getting real sick. Before she dipped, she made sure to tell me about the cash for school, trusting my dad to help me out with it. Now, I'm wondering if she slipped up by letting him in on it. With Dad having the keys to my cash, seemed like he could just play it however he wanted. But then, I found out he was only supposed to manage it till I turned 18, which kinda took some weight off. But when I straight up told him he couldn't mess with my money, dude started throwing selfish my way. That stung. How's he gonna call me selfish when he's the one trying to jack my future? Felt like I was trapped with no good move. On one side, I'm all for standing my ground, holding tight to what's mine by right. On the flip side, I wasn't about to start beefing the fam or do my stepbro dirty. He's chill, and we've had some decent times. We ain't super tight, but there's some brotherly vibe there, looking out for each other and all that. As days rolled on, the vibe with my dad just kept getting icier. He wouldn't drop the whole put off college spiel, and I'd lock up every time, caught up in this mess of choosing between my dreams and keeping the fam vibe smooth. Then, one night, I just lost it. Went off big time, airing out all the times he put his new fam before me. It was messy, but man, had to let it out. I finally let all my bottled up vibes spill, making sure my dad got the full picture of how much he'd dinged me. I laid it all out, how he'd always put his needs first, telling me my turn was next, but that next time never rocked up. He was always letting his boy pick first, leaving me feeling like I was just blending into the background, straight up ghosted and not feeling the love. I hit him with how it crushed me that he never showed up for my school stuff. But no matter what, he and my stepmom would always make it for my stepbro's things. I let loose on everything he did that cut me deep, even dropping some stuff I didn't even clock was bugging me. Then, out of nowhere, my stepmom rolls up on me, all apologies, trying to make things right. She breaks it down that my old man was wrestling with his own demons, feeling all twisted up about wanting to boost his stepson's future without leaving me in the dust. That was a curveball for me. Never pegged my dad to be fighting his own battles like that. It clicked that he wasn't just out for himself. He was trying to juggle what he thought was best for everyone in the fam. Right then, I decided to let the beef go and work out a game plan that could get both me and the stepbro through college. It was a tough grind, but we pulled together as a fam to find a path that worked. And yo, you won't believe the drama that unfolded next. Just when I was busting my brain trying to figure out how me and my stepbro could split the funds from my Grams fair and square, I thought this whole thing was a scheme to jack my inheritance. Then one night, I got home early and caught my dad and stepmom in the middle of a real talk. She's pressing him hard, saying he better finesse the full college fund out of me for her son, aiming for top-tier uni status after he finishes high school next year. My dad hits back, asking wasn't it enough that I agreed to split the cash? He drops that she's been stashing cash for her kid's college fund, calling her out for being all about the greed while he played along. She claps back, saying he's no angel either since they were both scheming to dip into my college fund. I couldn't believe my ears when I caught wind of the fam trying to play me for a fool, scheming to snatch what was straight up mine by right. I hit up my Grams lawyer on the double to put a full stop on any plans of slicing up my inheritance, especially after getting hip to their plot. Chopping it up with the lawyer blew the lid off the whole thing. Turns out, Grams had left me a fat stack, way more cheddar than Pops had let on. We're talking life-changing loot, not just some funds to cover school. I was even thinking of throwing some dough Pop's way to kickstart a business he'd been yapping about, on the promise he'd pay it back if push came to shove. They were deep in their plotting session in the kitchen when I busted in, slow clapping, throwing a bravo their way for their top-notch thievery act. Laid it down cold that they wouldn't see a dime from me, and announced I was bouncing that same day. 'Cause why not? I had the means. All thanks to my lawyer cluing me in on the real size of my stash. I threw the big question at my dad, pressing him on his plan to lift the rest of the cash he'd been silent about, but dude clammed up. I packed my life into 2 boxes that night, one big, one small, and dipped out to crash at my buddy's place. Didn't take much since I wasn't exactly showered with gear or love at home. Next day, I linked up with the lawyer to get the 411 on my financials. He schooled me that there was no way my dad could have dipped into my funds without me finding out eventually, meeting or no meeting. Still reeling from the drama, and Pops has been blowing up my line trying to patch things up, but I'm not having any of it. The only call I picked up was from my stepbro, who was clueless about the whole scam his folks were pulling. I spilled everything, and dude was straight up bummed. Couldn't believe what his parents were on. He was let down by their moves, not just at Pops, but at the whole situation. So my stepbro wasn't even shocked about his mom. He was like, yeah, I knew she was stacking some cash for me, but was totally thrown off when she was pushing for me to slice my inheritance with him. Every time he tried to get real with her, she'd just shut him down, telling him to zip it and never bring it up again. My stepmom must have got the 411 on where I was crashing, because next thing I know, she's at my friend's spot, trying to get me to chat. I had her cooling her heels for a solid hour before I even stepped out to face her. She's all smiles, acting like we're all good, wondering why I bounced and saying my dad was freaking out. Didn't even touch on the scheming I overheard. Like she thought playing dumb would make me forget the whole deal. I kept it chill but firm, told her we were done, and to lose my number. She tried to play the guilt card, going on about how she's been the MVP since my mom passed, and I'm just not seeing all she's done. That hit a nerve, not gonna lie. I was this close to losing it. But nah, I'm not about to go that route. Instead, I just let her right out. Hit her with the truth. Every little thing she did for me was nothing compared to the royal treatment her son got. Made it clear that any chat about me flipping some cash to my dad was dead in the water. I laid it out. They should just forget I exist, because as far as I'm concerned, they're ghosts to me. And about sharing anything with my stepbro? That's off the table. If I ever let them back in, they'd just rob me blind again. And man, how does a dad let his new wife treat his own kid like I'm less than? No way. That's not gonna fly with me. For real, it's wild how folks be acting these days. But yo, let me spill about this situation I got into. I'm 18, and my bro, he's 19, right? Dude's been all about movies since he was just a little kid, always got a camera on him. We've been teaming up for his film projects forever, doing all these shoots together, both inside the crib and out in the wild. So, he's got this thing for film school, hits me up to star in it like always. He's aiming to make this piece about 15 minutes long. We had the spot to ourselves because our folks were tied up with work stuff, perfect for getting our shoot done with zero hassle. This one scene, he's got it set up like I just woke up, making coffee, chilling on the balcony with a smoke, catching those early vibes. He's going for this real raw feel in the scene, right? I'm like, what you getting at? And he drops this on me, saying how he sleeps in the buff, talking about capturing some love letter to life vibe. So he's basically asking me to go topless for the shot, saying it's all good because we're fam, and it's for art or whatever. Just underwear on, nothing too crazy, he says. I wasn't even tripping about it at first. Like maybe I wasn't all there in the head that morning, but the idea of his classmates seeing me wasn't even a thing. Bodies are bodies, you know? I agreed to it, and dude nails the shot first try. Everything felt cool until I crashed for a bit, and waking up, it all hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, what was I even thinking, right? The thought of my bro having that kind of footage just got me all kinds of messed up. I rolled up on him, all set to wipe that footage out of existence, redo the bits where I was all out there. But he hits me with, already sent it off, deleting won't do jack now. Man, that whole thing got me feeling all sorts of messed up. Haven't even been able to chat with my bro since it all went down. Straight up told him I'm done being his go-to for film shoots. Dude got all heated, calling me his inspiration and claiming I'm the reason he got into his dream film school. He's trying to make it like I'm blowing things out of proportion, saying what we did was just art. But nah, I can't even look his way without feeling some type of way about what I agreed to. It's like I'm mad at myself but dumping all that heat on him instead. Feels bad, man. And then there's this voice telling me I gotta spill this to my folks or someone I trust. Bro refusing to delete that clip? Big red flag. There's no way he wrapped up his edit that quick. I'm thinking I need to holler at his teacher, make sure that video never sees the light of day in class. Gotta keep my guard up, cause trust, that ship sailed. And for real, don't be hard on yourself. Your body, your rules. Nudity ain't the issue. It's about consent and comfort. If you're not cool with it, that should be enough for him to hit delete, no questions. Bet even his teacher would get it if you explained the situation. But yo, if your gut's telling you something's off with your bro, like he's always sweet-talking you into stuff you end up regretting, it's time to draw that line. Set those boundaries, you know? Switching gears, me and my sis, we ain't exactly tight. Can't recall a time when she wasn't hogging all the parental spotlight. So here's the deal. My sis had it rough from the jump, dealing with lung issues as a baby, then getting hit with cancer at 3. That whole situation had my folks all in on getting her better, and they kind of expected me to be her personal entertainer, making sure she wasn't dwelling on the big C and feeling all the love. There were times I got chewed out for just chilling and watching TV, because apparently I was supposed to be all about her 24/7. And man, did she know how to pull focus. We even got skipped on a couple of family weddings as kids because nobody wanted the drama of her and my folks turning the whole thing into the sis show. Like, at my mom's sister's wedding, sis threw up in the morning, and my folks had to make a big announcement at the church about her being okay. My aunt was livid, especially when sis was sent up to plant kisses on the bride and groom mid-vows. That whole circus actually got my mom and her sister on non-speaking terms. Sis plays the cancer card a lot, always sharing her story about battling cancer, her lung issues, and how she might need more surgeries down the line because of the damage treatments did to her other organs. I won't lie, all the attention she gets for it has been a bit much for me. When I was 17, she hit me with why I'm not doting on her like our folks do. I laid it out for her. She ain't the only one who's made it through cancer. And in the real world, folks aren't dropping everything to hover around her or any survivor, really. I told her straight up it's kinda out of pocket to make herself the main character, especially when other people are trying to have their moment. She hit me back with, "How's it rude if no one's told me to cut it out before?" So basically, it boils down to this. I'm choosing not to bend over backward for her anymore. It ain't about what's fair or not, it's about making choices. She's got the option to stand on her own 2 feet, learn to adult, or keep playing the kid card, expecting everyone else to pick up the slack, just like I had to step up and carve out my own path. Our folks definitely played a big part in setting up this whole drama. They're grateful she made it through, sure, but they took it way too far, making her the center of everything and stepping on other folks' moments. Sucks that I had to play second fiddle all this time, and it seems like she ain't ready to let go of that spotlight. Stepping back might be the only move left, unless she decides it's time to grow up. Some folks catch on eventually, but others, they just find someone else to put them on a pedestal, and trust me, that ain't a pretty sight. And get this, I've been thinking. My parents probably soaked up all the attention that came with her being sick. They got so hooked on it, they lost sight of how they were acting, straight up disregarding everyone else. I kind of feel for my sis, because reality's going to hit her hard when she realizes not everyone's going to play along with her drama, leaving her with just our folks for company. They're the ones who sculpted her into this, and now she's got to deal with the fallout.